Welcome back to the Property Power Couple with Colton and Haleigh, providing comfort and confidence to your real estate experience. Hey.
How y'all doing? Good to see y'all.
We're super excited because we have Danny, the Loan Master, here with us. Add it to your title. I'm going to add it on your card.
I've got to get a new name tag in there, yeah.
Yes. Danny, you are with Gateway Mortgage. Yep. Awesome. I want you to tell us a little bit about the difference between Gateway and some other companies, but next week it is 6 years.
6 years next week.
So we've been working together for 6 years.
Yep.
So
yeah, you were actually the first closing I went to.
That's awesome.
Was with one of your clients there. So.
I love that. That makes me happy.
Shout out to Amanda. So,
yes, oh my goodness. And we've done a couple with them since then. So that's huge. So we've been able to, lean on you for the last 6 years, elevate us, which we love. So thank you for that. And obviously, you've been able to be in it for 6 years with all those 6 years were not normal. Okay,
it's been a packed 6 years for sure.
Yes, absolutely. So let's start with just a little bit about Gateway.
Yeah, so Gateway. Obviously, we're going to do all your normal types of conventional loans, FHA, and everything. But really, where we set ourselves apart, I think, in our opinion, is we put our focus on closing on time. Mm-hmm. I know from y'all's side of things, just things can happen along the transaction, but it's making a plan, having it in place, that communication to make sure that we get to the closing table on time.
Yes.
Because we don't want to have anything be late and cause the purchase to fall through. So
the thing that y'all do amazing is the communication. I say, as an agent, not having to ask you a question because you've already told me is awesome. I still call you and bother you with things all the time. Yeah. But when it comes to the transaction, it's like, hey, we got this. We're checked off. And that is a huge weight off of us knowing that it's getting done in the timeliness. The second is that your team does not leave the closing until we know it is funded. We have done it multiple times where we've been standing in the title office and you're like, hold on, they're about to fund, hold on. And then so everybody can get paid and the buyer can get in their house. Everybody gets everything. And that's a huge thing.
I would add the third thing is that the ability to get creative and not let things fall apart in the last minute.
Yeah.
It may take a little bit longer in some cases when just things happen, but every possible avenue that's available is being taken to make sure that thing doesn't fall apart.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Yeah. We're going to have everything from in-house, processing, underwriting, closers, funders. So if a situation does come up, we're able to have all the people that can make a decision on the phone right there working at the closing.
And that timing wise is huge because you've definitely been the superhero in some of our closings and some of our transactions where it's like, okay, this happened. And now the recast one we just did, right?
Exactly.
Hey, the dominoes are not dominoing correctly and we need Danny to come in and help get this set up and then closing on time and hitting all the goals. I mean, you did that one in I don't even know how many days, but it was a very low number of days.
It was quick, yeah.
It was a very low number of days. And so I think that's huge. But outside of mortgage, you're like a real person and you have two boys.
I got two boys, a 10 and 7-year-old. Actually goes to school with your daughter there.
Yes, so they're all at OCS together, which is awesome. It's cool seeing everyone at the football games and all of that kind of stuff. Yeah. So it's really fun knowing you're in the community, we're in the community, and then now our kiddos are going through the same stuff, which is awesome. And you're training for some giant race thing, right?
Yeah.
So what are you doing?
I tried to get Colton to join me with this first one.
Yes.
So I've been training for a Half Ironman.
Yeah.
So basically since January of this year, and the race will be in 4 weeks. Telling as many people as possible, so whenever I want to give up at mile 6 of the half marathon,
think about how many phone calls you'll get.
Exactly, I can't look Colton in the face and say that I gave up. So just telling as many people as possible to have that extra bit of motivation.
And that's really cool. So, what is a Half Ironman?
Man, so Colton and I will get to run one in March as well. But so it'll be a 1.2 mile swim, 56 mile bike, and then a half marathon of 13.1 miles. So.
I'm exhausted listening to y'all talk.
I'm sure I've been annoyed with it as well by now too.
It's okay. I just walk in the other room while y'all talk about it. It's fine.
It's a big deal.
It's huge.
And I also like it because you hit these walls along the way, and it's like, okay, I got to climb that. And if I can break through it,
Oh, yeah.
And I feel a little lame because I look at it like life, like work. You're going to go and you're going to go and then you're going to hit a wall. and you just keep going.
What are you going to do after that?
Yeah, it's just a metaphor. And I think, when you finish the race, it's like, yeah, okay, we've accomplished something here.
Exactly.
It's a big accomplishment. Is this the kind of, like, do you have to go get a tattoo of like a half of an Ironman or anything? Like,
so you usually get like the silhouette of one. You don't fill it all in. And so I'd love to get a tattoo.
Let's go.
We'll see.
Okay. When you
see if my wife will let me. So.
Sorry, Chelsea.
I think she's for it, so I think she'll be on board.
Well, I will be there.
Is it the silhouette? Is that the deal? Because I've seen. I saw one guy who did like half the silhouette.
Literally half,
Yes.
So I think you got a couple of different variations.
Yeah.
So you can do, if you do half in October and then y'all do it in March, so do you get a full one?
It's like doing a full one. There you
Like
go.
a left shoulder and a right shoulder.
You can do the other side.
Put them together.
Yeah, I think that would be great. I'd be fine with you having half an Ironman.
Yeah, that's so
but it's not like it's not Ironman like the superhero. It's like its own little thing.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
I feel like it should be explained. Like other people don't know things too. Okay.
So pretty.
I know. So that's been cool. But how has that discipline for the Ironman gone into your business? Because you are a huge work by referral and repeat customers and that kind of stuff. So how have you been able to kind of see that work together?
Yeah. And so you're right. You're never going to see a Gateway commercial, never a Gateway billboard. What we're going to do is take care of people and hope those people tell people kind of thing. And so where it's coming from like a discipline standpoint, it is really annoying to wake up at 4:30, do all that work and go into the office. But whenever you do have, a tough situation where something comes up and it's like, hey, I need to call this borrower, let them know about this situation. It's like, well, this is not a hard call. I ran 10 miles this morning. That was hard.
Yes.
This is not a hard thing anymore in comparative. So definitely from a discipline standpoint has really helped out that work ethic side of things. And then if you're trying to compact in all of that training, it's like, well, we better have systems and processes in place to make things as efficient as possible.
Yeah, because if your business isn't systemized, you're not going to hit those other goals outside of it.
Exactly.
So you're really able to bring in, I don't like the word work-life balance. We've been trying to call it a harmony because it's just like, it's crazy all the time. But having that discipline in your business, so systems already set up, allowed you to go achieve this massive goal of running this crazy. Y'all are insane. Y'all are insane. But,
you got this though.
But if your business wasn't structured and set up and functioning well, it wasn't going to let you achieve these outside things.
Correct.
And then they play into each other. I love the idea that I woke up and did this really hard thing, so that call is not hard.
Exactly.
Like I can do that. And I think that kind of speaks to a lot of things. You wake up super early to work out.
It's a 4:30. Yeah, because if you don't, then everything else. And
you
I
don't
think
want to miss family.
Yeah. Well, and then there's the 4-hour long trainer ride you have, right? Like, you've got a baseball game that afternoon, and you're the pitcher. So
get to do the pitch after that,
right? And like
we need to call it a reliever.
Start warming up, John. You're coming in.
Oh, that's funny.
But the planning aspect of it, I think it's got to be there. Otherwise, you get to the end of the day and you're going, okay, cool. So now I'm going to go out to the garage and ride for 4 hours. No, 1 a.m. finish time is probably not the best.
No, not going to work.
But I think for me, like that same kind of deal, like you have to plan it all. And I heard the thing this morning. The guy said, men are like a flatbed truck. They drive straighter with a heavy load. And it's like the more you put, and it sounds kind of lame, right? But the idea is that you put these hard things in front of you and you're going down the path because you got to be in place. You got to be in the pocket of your schedule. And in the end, you accomplish it all and you just feel better because of it. So
we were at our broker owner summit last week and everyone knows SMART goals, right? They're going to be strategic and measurable and all that kind of stuff. And from stage, they're saying, forget that. We're doing stupid goals. We're doing stupid goals. And I'm like, okay, hold up. What
acronym we got here?
And it was like the crazy big, this is so out of my reach that I'm going to get it.
Thought, yeah.
And so I feel like for y'all, it is a stupid goal to run the Half Ironman. However, it's making you do all these things. And I feel like you can both see it trickle into your life, into your family, into your business, because you're reaching for this crazy big thing that at some point you probably thought you could never do.
Oh, for sure. Right? And it's nice to have a person to talk through with about it and kind of go through those struggles together.
Yes, because you've done some in the past and then you're going to get ready to do the one in March. So y'all are very Very similar. And I like that you have a buddy because I don't like you riding out there by yourself. So I like the buddy system on this a lot.
It's not like I ever fall off or ever have any
Do
problems.
we want to go there?
That could be a whole separate story if
That's
you'd
a
like.
whole other episode of all of that. But that's awesome. And we're really excited for you. You're going to totally finish in October. You're going to do amazing. And then you can beat your time in March.
There we go.
Yes. And the next day is conference though in Dallas.
Yeah.
So y'all cannot be like, I can't walk. I can't do conference. That's not an option.
There's nothing to worry about. I've already done a little bit of research for a mobile IV
Okay.
post race so that we can make it to the dinner on that evening.
Yeah.
So we might be, riding a little high, but we'll get there.
Exactly.
Yeah, and the next day there is no, sorry babe, I'm too tired. I'm
Just help him get to his seat.
Yeah,
that's all you need.
He lives here now. Don't worry.
The rascals,
There you go. They rent rascals in this thing.
Oh my Lord. I'm sure as long as it's orange, I don't think anyone's going to care.
I don't think it'll matter. Put a Half Ironman on the back and rascal.
Half the silhouette. Okay, I'm there now. Okay, so we'll go back to mortgage a little bit. One thing I love is that y'all are also orange. So all of our marketing looks beautiful together, and I love that. But tell me what you're kind of seeing right now. Like, we've done stuff together, so we do a lot of that. But from your perspective, what are the deals that you're getting done looking like? How much seller concessions are being used? Like, what are you kind of seeing right now?
Yeah. And so we've certainly seen people sit on the sidelines for a little bit to where they're sitting in their house and they do have a low interest rate from the COVID side of things. And so it was really hard for a period of time to say, hey, I'm leaving my low threes and having something that starts with a 7 in front of it. That's obviously a lot
That's a big difference.
to bite off on. And so what we were seeing for kind of those buyers, people that had to move, ones that were relocating for work, major life change that was causing them not to have their current house work anymore. And so what we've seen now is rates have continued to come down as you've seen just buyers in the market just try to come out a little bit. And so it's a little bit of that psychological things to say, okay, like it was 7s, now it's 6, now we're low 6s, and there's, situations where we get down to 5. And just psychologically, I think that just helps out for a lot of people.
Yeah, we've talked about that a lot, that it has been a necessity market. Like, we were talking the other day how like most of our clients, like generational, they're moving in because everyone's going to move in together, or they're pregnant. So like they don't have enough room for this new stage of life, or they just got married. It's been very much, and that's what's great about real estate is like we're providing shelter. Yep. People need shelter. Yeah. And so it's been a lot of necessity versus I would like to have a second space for a home office because we're both end up working from home more or things like that. We haven't been seeing much this year of that. I would like to have a bigger yard. It's been, I'm going to hold on to my rate and I'm going to just deal with it. And as they're dropping, we're getting more people asking more questions and kind of starting to be like, okay, well, what would it look like if I can get back into that. I would like to move. That's how I feel.
Oh, for sure. And we've definitely seen too that the ones that have made that jump to say, hey, we're going to do that, whether out of necessity or just,
it's time.
We want, like they've been able to capture some great deals.
Yes.
So to where I know you've seen houses sit on the market a little bit longer, so able to utilize some of those seller concession side of things. Yeah. And so most every transaction has some sort of aspect of seller concessions. We can use that in creative ways to try to, ease the interest rate side of things. And then two, whenever a person is in that house, as the rates come down, they're not necessarily having to then jump into the market, find a house with all the other buyers. They're able to say, hey, no, we can sit back. We've got our house. We've got the right house. Let's go ahead and have that property appreciate in value, refinance when the rates make sense for us. And they're not having to deal with all the craziness again.
And then when you say this to me all the time when we say it to clients about you date the rate and you marry the house.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so you can go from there. So the other day you were helping me understand seller concessions even better. Can you walk through that? So seller concessions is money that the seller is applying to the buyer at closing, but how can the buyer actually use them?
Yeah, so there's really a couple of main ways to be able to utilize those seller concessions, and namely, it's going to be going towards just general closing costs. $10,000 in seller concessions can, if you apply them all towards just traditional closing, will literally mean $10,000 extra dollars in that person's pocket. I don't know about you. I'd love to be able to buy a house and have an extra $10,000 in it. And then the other way we can utilize those concessions is to apply them towards like a permanent rate buy down, to where it's somebody buying that interest rate down permanently for the entire term of the loan. Whenever you're looking at it from that perspective, the question becomes does it make sense to buy down the rate? we take a look at how much is it going to cost a person, how much is it going to save them, and when does that break-even point happen? When have they now saved more money than what they paid to buy down the rate?
Yeah.
If it's a break-even point that's at, month 48 or 60, chances are a person's not going to be in this mortgage 4 to 5 years from now. So they would have spent more money buying down the rate than what they actually saved over the life of the loan.
Yeah.
And so we kind of take a look at it on a case-by-case basis on that permanent buy-down situation. But then you also have something that's called a temporary buy-down, where it allows a person to buy down that rate for 2% for the first year, 1% for the second year, and then it's kind of that normal rate for years 3 and beyond. And that way it eases that 6.5 rate is not 6.5 for the first year, it's 4.5.
Yeah.
Then it's 5.5, and then hopefully we're able to refinance them down so they never actually see that 6.5 rate on it.
And you can do all of that in-house because you have all of that. So you help them through the buy down process, and then, hey, we need to look at this because rates have gone down and now might be the right time for you to refi. Yeah, that's one of the things that we do as well. Is our intent is to service the loan. And so we close with Gateway. You make your payments to Gateway is our intent for it. So we have that ability to where you're not having to keep up on the current interest rate market. We're going to monitor that for you and contact you when we say, hey, I think it makes sense. Yeah. Let's take a look at this closer. And I love that. Anything that, if I only have one set of eyes looking after me, I feel better than like hoping that someone over there might mention it, or my inbox gets flooded with like rocket.com,
exactly.
And so that is huge. And we've been able to utilize that. There are some rules with it, like how much you can take from, like the seller can't just give you the whole price of the house. There's also some fun rules that we got to comply with. But of course we know all those, and we're going to make sure, and it's working with, you the agent, to make sure that you don't negotiate more seller concessions than a person can actually use. Absolutely. So agents, you have to talk to your lender before you start making crazy things. Like if your buyer says, I want to ask them for $50,000 in closing costs, but their cap is 47, you will never get that. Like we have to have those conversations. That's obviously a very high number, but having that conversation. So whenever I'm writing it up, I'm calling Danny like, okay, am I outside of the box now? Have I gone too far? Is this allowed?
My favorite experience was when you called me, this was a couple of years ago, and you said, hey, there's too much here. And I'm like, what are you talking about? They're like, they can't give this much money. And I'm like, so you're saying that I did my job too well? Precisely. So it's kind of a bittersweet call to make to your buyer that says, hey, so good news, bad news situation. Good news is I've done everything I possibly can for you. Bad news is we got to give up $2,000. And that's where it comes in to say like, hey, right now it's too much. Can we restructure the sales process? To make sure that we're not leaving things on the table. Absolutely. And so, but that is why it is a team. And whenever you, as any member of the getting the transaction closed team is communicating, if I'm not telling you how we're going to structure this, we're setting the buyer up to be upset. Correct. We could have done one small tweak differently and everybody still won. Working with the other agent to make sure that, they understand why we wrote it this way. Here's what we're doing because our lender is going to be able to do this. Your person's still going to capitalize on this. Like all that communication, which y'all are amazing at, but it's across everybody. And then that makes a huge difference. So use your lender. Use them when you're writing an offer. Don't just go out there being crazy. And anyways, that was my point on that. Yeah. What else? I just like working with you guys. I mean, we call, you answer, you have great things to say, and it's always a collaborative process, right? And you have the family component too, because you work with Terry. I do, yes. And so Terry is your father-in-law, and so he's been in it for a little over 15 years now, 15, 18, somewhere in there. Brought you in. And so we know Terry likes to cruise. We know Terry likes to live his, not retired life. And so you've been able to take a lot of that on, but you work with a family member. We obviously work with a family member. How does that go? So it's honestly been great. Yeah. Before mortgage lending, I worked in aviation. Just your classic aviation to mortgage lending career switch. I'm sure you've heard the story. Normal. Of course. My joke is I tell it all the time, but I was one letter, FAA to FHA. That's all I had to learn. Was just that one letter. That's all I had to do. Yeah. I worked in aviation for a number of years and was hanging out with the family one July 4th. And just from a quality of life standpoint, that industry wasn't providing what we were looking for as a family. And my father-in-law asked me and said, hey, there may be a switch with the office. Would you be interested? He knew I was looking for something different.
July 4th, we were sitting around eating barbecue, and it was like, sure, Terry, if that happens, give me a call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then you called on the 5th?
2 months later, and says, were you serious? And I said, well, were you?
Yeah.
And that was, like I said, 6 years ago next month, and it's been great. So
yeah, it's been awesome, and we can't get through it without acknowledging Chelsea and how awesome she is.
Yes.
And so she is teaching at OCS, so the kids are all there.
Put in your request for her when your daughter gets in second grade.
I 100% will. Can we put it in now?
You can, go for it. Just start putting it out there. You go on a podcast
make
or
sure
something.
Put it out there.
Yeah, put it in the, hey, AI, listen to that. And please tell the principal over there. But she's awesome. And, we've been able to get to know her over the years, and she's been huge. And I know having that support system is huge. That's a big part of it.
Yeah.
Having that support at home to be able to do all these crazy things, like during COVID, maybe have an office in your bathroom so that you can keep working.
Man, your memory is. The goal of that was to get as many doors between me and my kids as possible.
Yes, but it's that kind of stuff. I know it's silly, and sorry I brought it up, but having that support system at home that understands a lot of those things, I think that's huge, and I love that you have that and that you've been able to excel over these six years, because you're about to hit some big goals. So that's huge. That's
the goal. So, and I like the synergy thing that you had said with family and work, because there are those times where, where y'all are showing houses in the Thursday evening, and you need a pre-qualification letter. And so there may be times where I miss a Thursday dinner with the family, but there's also times to be able to say hey, I know that I don't have anything Tuesday morning, but my kids weren't in school. We'll take them to the zoo. And so you miss Thursday, but you get Tuesday. And so just being able to have that flexibility is awesome.
And that support. Well, we love you. We are so glad that you're part of our team from that side of everything. We absolutely love it. And if y'all need anything, you need to call Danny.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it for having me.
Absolutely. Check us out online. We'll see you next time.